really bothered me was that he got up there and he was, telling people that basically they shouldn't watch me. So damn, so you want to affect my business?
Look, I've been roasting Anton for about 2 months straight now, and honestly, I'm getting worn out even bringing his name up. I'm not even going to front though. I definitely cashed in during that run and even treated my mom to a fresh new wig with the money. See, on that part, he actually isn't wrong. But here's the thing. Folks online keep poking, searching, and digging deeper every single day. You know how that goes. And listen to this. For the last couple of months, Anton Daniels has been on a mission trying to convince the entire internet that every person who once rocked with him suddenly flipped on him out of nowhere. That's the narrative he keeps pushing over and over again, like that's the one story he wants everybody to believe. But hold up, because we also have to remember something important. These are Anton's own words that started all this in the first place.
If I can't leverage you, I have no use for you. I don't give a about how wide your mouth is, whether you can swallow a Coke can. I'm not impressed with how much you can twerk. I don't give a about how old you are. None of that stuff matters to me. Can I leverage you in order to continue to get to a better bag? And will you be more successful as a result of joining my team? That's the conversation that I'm interested in having.
Now hold up, because that context matters when we start talking about the connection, whether you call it friendship or business, between him and Six the Goddess. For those who may not know, Six the Goddess has been a recognizable voice on YouTube within the black commentary space for about 5 or 6 years now, and at one point the two of them actually worked together on content. But listen to this. Anton's whole posting formula, the constant streams, rapid uploads, and chopping clips into quick hits, didn't just appear out of thin air. A lot of that approach traces back to Just Pearly Things, whose strategy is basically to flood the algorithm with as much content as possible to maximize reach and revenue. And whether people want to admit it or not, she's one of the creators who showed a lot of YouTubers, Anton included, how that high-volume system can really dominate the platform. Now here's where things got messy. There was a period where Anton was heavily criticizing black women, while at the same time praising Just Pearly Things. That same dynamic is actually why I personally stepped away from the so-called black manosphere scene, because guys like Obsidian and others were pushing a similar narrative. So eventually, I distanced myself from that whole corner of YouTube altogether. But here's the key part. Six the Goddess wasn't feeling that energy at all. She had a serious issue with Anton putting down black women while simultaneously uplifting Just Pearly Things. And during the time they were still connected, she tried to pull him aside and speak on it.
This situation definitely should have just been let it go. We was cool at one point. We're going to just let it go. But instead, he drugged me for filth the next day. And no, he wrong. That's why he edited that shit out that video. And when I let you know, hey, that's hurtful. That's not it. You're disparaging black women for a white woman. I don't like that. His response to that was the next day to go drag me and then invite Pearl onto his show. Is that someone who was a friend and someone you needed to be loyal to? That's someone who been feeling a way about you.
Hold up, because this is where the energy shifted real quick. Anton started taking direct shots at her. That's right, he went all the way in and dragged her name through the mud like it was nothing. And then, listen to this, he turned right around and brought Just Pearly Things onto the platform like he was making some kind of statement. I mean, seriously, the whole situation got messy fast, and the tension was obvious to anybody watching. But girl, you won't believe it, because somehow the drama didn't stop there. It actually got even worse.
So the part that really bothered me was that he got up there and he was, telling people that basically they shouldn't watch me. So damn, so you want to affect my business? You want to affect my views?
Hold up. So now you're trying to mess with my business. Are you really trying to hit my views and my livelihood like that? And it didn't stop there. He actually went as far as telling his own subscribers to stay away from her content. But wait, you already know when stuff like this starts unfolding, there's always another layer to it.
But the number one thing that he said that really bothered me was he got up there and said, Y'all over there watching her, getting advice from her, and y'all ain't even.
So basically, his attitude was like, why are y'all even watching her if you're not supporting her anyway? Listen to this. That same talking point sounded really familiar because I've heard the exact line pushed over at No Captivity with Freeze and by a few other voices repeating that same narrative lately. And trust me, a lot of folks across the space are echoing that exact message right now. Quick shout out to House of Hypocrites though, because after all that drama and those slick shots, guess what Anton did next? Hold up. He casually pulled right up into the live stream like nothing ever went down.
What did you come on here to say, Anton?
I came to say that this is some fake shit, Six, because you know you got my number in real life.
What
And
do I need to say?
anytime, no, if you're gonna let me speak, let me speak. Anytime that anybody has ever had a question, you know we didn't always reached out to each other. I even when fuckers that I was rocking with, that I was paying, that I was having conversations with, when they was coming against you, I never turned on you. Never. And no. Hold on. You know this. You know this because we had real conversations in person. You sat in my crib and we had these conversations. You know I defended you. You know I never mentioned your name one time. We didn't always disagree on almost everything that we stood on. Me and you had a conversation about how much we disagreed in my motherfucking kitchen.
Behind the scenes, he was tossing shade, dropping sneak disses, and pulling those little slick moves the entire time. Then, when everything with Ma started coming out, people began noticing the inconsistencies. Folks caught him deleting videos and switching things up once receipts started surfacing. So again, shout out to House of Hypocrites and No Captivity with Freeze, plus Lakeisha Keisha. Y'all have been putting in real investigative work. Because at the end of the day, too many creators on this platform are chasing the bag so hard they'll trash relationships and disrespect people just to keep the money flowing, then circle back later pretending they had no part in the mess. And yeah, shout out to LTTV too, because the lies and contradictions keep getting exposed week after week. Meanwhile, while the whole black commentary sector is sitting back watching the receipts pile up in real time. Bottom line, don't move like Anton. Now listen, I hate to even say this out loud, but normally when people talk about the dustiest states, they bring up North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. But hold up, family, I'm not even gonna lie. Alabama is starting to creep onto my radar lately. Y'all are all looking really wild out there right now.